This video is going to talk about optimizing your images for the web. It's important to do this so that when a browser is trying to load your website or a phone is trying to load your website, that it's not trying to pull a full-sized image from your server that's 4,000 pixels wide and 300 dpi, so that it has to then shrink it down enough to fit on someone's screen. So instead of making the server and the browser work extra hard, we're trying to make the images as lightweight as possible, and we're going to do that in a number of different ways. The first thing that you want to do is you want to bulk resize your photos. A lot of times if you've downloaded stock photos or if you've taken photos with your phone, you'll have images that are similar to this one, almost 4,000 pixels wide. This website is free to use, bulkresizePhotos.com, and you can simply select all of the photos that you'd like to resize and drag them into the screen here. And we want to scale the images to about 30% of the original size, because that is going to be just over 1,000 pixels wide at the longest dimension. And really, you shouldn't need an image that's larger than that dimension-wise. In fact, you can probably do even a little bit less, but for this purpose, we're going to do 30% to start with. And so we'll click Start Resizing. And then it's going to give you a zip file, and that will go to wherever your downloads go. In mine, it goes into my downloads folder, and then so I can drag my zip file over into whichever folder that I'm using to organize my photos for my website. And for me, I just double click and it unpacks that zip file. So now I can see that these images are all quite a bit smaller, 75 kilobytes instead of 3.1 megabytes. So that's a significant reduction in file size. So the next step that we want to do with these folders, or these files rather, is we want to make sure that they're compressed as much as possible. Now we're going to have a plugin on the website called WP Smush that does compression, but I take an extra measure of compression safety, and I use a free website called TinyPNG to compress before I even upload to WP Smush. So the website you want to go to here is tinypng.com, and same as the last site, you can just select all of the photos that you want to compress and you drag and drop them, and this is going to compress even further, and you can see this decreased this file size by 46% and by 32%. Now this isn't resizing the physical size of the photo, it's still going to be 1200 pixels wide. What TinyPNG does is it uses lossy compression, and it makes it just removes some of the data from the background that causes the file to be larger. So once you have compress these in TinyPNG, you're going to download all, and then it's going to give you a zip file, so you can do the same thing that you just repeated with bulk resize, and it's going to go into a zip file. I double click and now it's unpacked these, so it went from 3.1 megabytes to 61 kilobytes to now 41 kilobytes. So now we can upload to the website, and it's likely going to compress it even more with the WP Smush plugin that we're using. Now, from an optimization standpoint, the next thing that you want to do before you upload the file to the website is you want to rename your files. They should be something relevant to what the subject of the picture is. For instance, this one here, big stock abstract summer background wit and then a number, that's very long and it was descriptive for big stock, but it's not descriptive for us. So if I was, say, selling beach blankets and this was a stock photo that I had picked, I would maybe do summer beach blankets. Now, as you can see here, I've used hyphens in between the different words, and this is just a good practice to use for search engine optimization. It's also good practice to keep your file titles short and different from one another, but hyphens are better than underscores and also better than spaces, because this is going to go into your image URL when you upload it on the website. So I can go through and rename all of my photos to keywords for my products. And now my photos are ready to upload. And once again, when they are uploaded, they're going to automatically be smushed again through WP Smush. And when we upload them, we will also talk about how to use alt files.